Now on LWT, we're live with Crime Monthly.
John Marshall said goodbye to his wife and told her he'd be back in a few hours. He never returned. He was dead by the next morning. Where did he go that day? Good evening. There was £5,000 in cash in John Marshall's car, yet the killers left it behind. Why? Police are looking for the murderer of car dealer John Marshall. He was killed between the 15th and the 16th of May. He'd been shot twice, once in the head and once in the chest, before the body was bundled into the car. Despite press speculation that his shooting was drugs-related, the police are keeping an open mind about the motive. Our reconstruction starts on the morning he went missing. That's Wednesday, the 15th of May. The newspapers reported that 20 convicted IRA men could go free because of a blunder by scientists. John Marshall, a 35-year-old father of three, worked from home buying and selling high-performance cars. He was well known in the trade and was on his way to becoming a millionaire. He advertised in Auto Trader and Exchange and Mart, and traded mainly in the Essex and Kent areas.
I've got to nip down to Pitsea to pick up some pieces, then nip down to Kent. But I've got to be back for the dentist in Burns Avenue at 3 o'clock, so I'll see you outside.
On the morning of Wednesday the 15th, he made an arrangement to meet a business associate he needed to give £5,000 to for a car deal.
I'm off, love. I'll see you later.
Oh, bye. John, don't forget we're packing tonight.
John's wife Tony was due to have an operation in London on the Friday, and the couple were intending to spend the Thursday night in a hotel in the capital. John left his house between 10:20 and 11:20 on the Wednesday morning. He was next sighted at the Century Salvage Parts Yard in Pitsea at about midday.
Hello, John. Are you sold that motor yet?
Offer me the right price and it's yours.
What can I do for you, mate?
Yeah, I want some spares off that Fiesta.
He bought some parts and a car.
Okay, mate. Cheers.
And left the salvage parts yard sometime between 12 and 1 p.m. He's thought to have headed to Kent on business. This is the last known sighting of John Marshall alive. He'd arranged to meet a business associate at his dentist in Pitsea at 3 p.m. after his trip to Kent to give him the promised £5,000. The man phoned John's mobile, but he found that he couldn't get through.
The Vodafone you have called may be switched off. Please try later.
We know John couldn't be contacted on his mobile phone after 3 o'clock, but he was at Century Salvage at 12. Now, where was he between 12 and 3? Was there business associates trying to contact him? Did anybody try to meet him? Did he fail to turn up for a meeting? This is what we want to know.
The body was found almost a week later.
John was discovered in Sydenham in the back of his Range Rover, and it was covered in hay. This was on the 22nd of May. The body and the vehicle were there from at least 6:30 a.m. on the 16th of May. We don't believe that John was shot in his vehicle, but he was 6'2" and about 15 stone. Now, he's a big lad. He needed to be lifted by more than one person into the back of that vehicle.
It's unlikely that John was shot near where his car was found. So where was he killed? And who drove the Range Rover down Thorpewood Avenue to where it was discovered in Round Hill?
We believe John's car was dumped either on the Wednesday night or the early hours of Thursday morning. And surprisingly, the £5,000 had been left in the car. John carried a head sports bag, and that contained all his business documents. We don't know when that went missing. It certainly wasn't in the vehicle when we recovered it, but did it go missing after it had been abandoned in Sydenham? Because the vehicle was abandoned with its doors unlocked and a window open. So we're anxious to trace this head bag. Where is it? Did someone see the Range Rover on its way to Sydenham? How many people were in it? Indeed, who was driving it? That's what we want to know.
If you can help, call the incident room at Basildon on 01268 532212. That's 01268 532212. Now, we've had a woman caller from the Sydenham area who phoned in to say that she saw a female driver reversing her car at high speed down the road where John Marshall's Range Rover was parked the day before his body was found. Police are anxious to trace this woman, believed to be aged between 25 and 30. She was driving a dark green or black Renault Clio and was described as having long, dark, wavy hair.